If you have started the same habits over and over again, maybe journaling, working out, waking up early, and you still end up quitting, this video is for you. Because the problem is not exactly discipline, it is the way you have been taught to build or correct habits. And here's the frustrating part. You probably tried harder and harder instead of trying differently. You set big goals, you waited for motivation, and then you end up blaming yourself when those habits don't stick. But here's the truth I need you to know. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. What is broken is the way habits are being taught. We are told to rely on motivation, to just be consistent, to keep pushing even when things are hard. While this advice sounds good, it quietly set you up for failure. So today I'm breaking down 5 habit mistakes that people make without even realizing it, and simple fixes that makes habits stick even when you're not motivated, even when life gets busy or you're not even in the mood. If you ever feel like you keep starting over and over every time, by the end of this video you will know exactly what to stop doing and exactly what to change so that your habit finally lasts. The first mistake I'm going to be talking about is starting too big. When you're trying to change a habit, you don't need to stack too many habits, because the goal is not big ambition. The goal is sustainability. What are the changes that I can make that will be sustainable, that I can be consistent at? Now, the problem is that a lot of people don't follow this rule, and that's why so many people cannot build habits that stick. Take, for example, the beginning of the year. We all write goals. I want to wake up 5 a.m. I want to read 10 chapters of the book every single day. And we are going great. By the time we get to the middle of the first month, our ambition dies. Motivation goes away. We are unable to keep up with all these our big dreams and big habits that wanted to form in the new year. Because when you start changing too many things at the same time, it creates a space for burnout, because more habits equals more decisions, and more decisions equals burnout. How exactly do you correct this? So instead of picking so many habits and trying to change a lot of things all at the same time, pick one single habit per season and you work on it. And the key that is going to keep you going is to choose one small change that even you yourself, you won't notice that you're making any change. Let's assume that I want to start reading more, and I've seen that no matter how hard I try, it never just sticks. What am I going to do? I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to read just 2 pages every single day. The habit is so small that even on my tired days, I can still read 2 pages of the book per day. Before I know what is going on, I've built a reading culture, just like that, without any inconvenience. Instead of trying to start with the bigger things, start with the smallest possible version. I promise you, your habit is going to stick. The second mistake is relying on motivation. Here's something I need you to understand. Motivation will never sustain you when it comes to building habits, because motivation deals with feelings and emotions, and emotion is what? Very fleeting. You need something stronger than motivation if you're going to make your habit stick and make your habit into a lifestyle. I've seen situations where people are so gassed up to start something, like, oh, I want to lose weight. They're super hyped, which is great because you need that to get off to a great start. But they don't have systems and structures in place to help them make sure that this habit or this goal that they are trying to achieve is achievable. Now, what am I saying? If you want your habit to stick, you have to go way beyond motivation. You need structures, you need systems that will actually ensure that this habit becomes your regular normal. One of the greatest lessons I've learned in life was from Jim. He said something in the lines of, you don't have to wait to feel like it to do it. You just have to do it and then you feel like it. For example, I've been trying to work out consistently for a while now, and on this particular day I was supposed to work out, right? And I was like, oh my god, I don't feel like working out today. And my inner man and my body struggled and struggled. And when I eventually got up, I eventually worked out that day. And when I worked out, I'm like, oh my god, I feel so good. Before I started, I was not motivated. I didn't want to do it. I did not feel like doing it. However, when I started doing it, I felt like it. You don't need to wait till you feel like it. You just need to do it anyway. Honestly, I think that there is no correlation between your feelings and your action. Your feelings are your feelings. Your actions are your actions. You can feel some type of way, but you can still decide to take action anyway. Don't allow the feeling of, oh, I'm not feeling motivated or I'm not feeling disciplined, hold you back from making that change that you know that you need to make in your life. Build structure that help you stick to your habit. Maybe you want to set a time to eat. Maybe you want to set a date to eat. Maybe you want to set up your environment to make sure that this habit is easier and doable for you. Whatever structure that you need to put in place, put it in place, because that's what is going to save you even on days where you have low energy, when you don't feel like it, when you don't want to do it, but you have to do it. Third mistake is changing too many habits all at the same time. Too many changes can overload the brain. When your brain is overloaded, it kills consistency, because now you're trying to do a lot of things at the same time. It's like you're trying to juggle 10 balls at the same time and praying to God that none of it drops. Regardless of your prayers, one is eventually going to drop. A lot of people struggle with creating changes in their lives because they are trying to change their financial habits, they're trying to change their spiritual habits, change their health habits, change their relationship habits all at once. It's not going to work because your brain is going to be like, yo, I'm tired at some point. You might start off strong, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, killing it. But the moment you get to like day 5, day 6, your motivation dwindles, you become tired, you burn out, and eventually what will happen is that you won't even end up doing any of those habits anymore. Why? Because they are too much. Why? Because you have too much on your plate and you can't even handle it, and at that point you will have added up to here. So instead of trying to change so many things all at once, try to do one habit at a time and choose habits that have ripple effect. For example, I'm trying to lose weight and I'm trying to work on my prayer life. I can choose just one habit of taking a 30 minutes walk every day. And while I'm taking a walk, I'm praying, I'm listening to the Bible, listening to music, firing up my spiritual man. That is one single habit with ripple effect. Just a small change of 30 minutes work, I'm working on my weight loss habit and I'm working on my spiritual habit. The fourth mistake is quitting after one missed day. A lot of people believe that consistency means never missing. You know, you're always perfect, you're always showing up. You have a long, consistent streak all year round without breaking the streak. Streak sounds nice. Take Snapchat streak, for example. A lot of people like to streak because they like to see the numbers. Oh, I'm 400 streak in. But that's not how habit works. Habit is not about perfection. It's about consistency. Feeling like a failure after you miss is a mindset that needs to be corrected if you're going to build a habit that becomes your new and regular normal. Consistency is about showing up even after you miss. The only thing I'm going to say when it comes to missing is never miss twice. You miss once, pick yourself back up again and keep going. Instead of saying, oh my God, I missed, and then you start sulking. Progress is about the tenacity to keep showing up even after you've missed. The fifth mistake I'm going to be talking about is depending on willpower. I think I'm strong, I can be disciplined, but at the end of the day, you realize that, oh my God, my willpower is not enough. My discipline is not enough. Let me give you a classical example, especially if you're a believer, you really get this. When it comes to fornication, the Bible says to flee. Why? Because our willpower will not be enough. If you like speak in tongues, if you like think I'm disciplined, I'm prayer warrior and everything, your discipline that you think you have or your willpower is never going to help you in situations where you are left alone with your significant other. This same logic applies in this situation when you're trying to build a habit. I'm trying to drive home to you that your willpower will not save you. Listen, I know in your mind you think I can be consistent by myself. It's not going to work. Even if it works, it's not going to work for a long time. No, don't get me wrong, you need your willpower. If your environment works against you, your willpower is going to fail you at the end of the day. Something that we fail to understand is that our environment controls our behavior. You need to design your environment in a way that good habits that you want to achieve become easier. For example, if you want to stop pressing your phone first thing in the morning, take away that phone from the side of your bed. Maybe put a book where you used to put your phone, or put a Bible, or put a journal, so that when you wake up in the morning, the next possible thing that you do is either to read a book, either to read your Bible, or either to journal. If you want to drink water, especially first thing in the morning, make sure you put a bottle of water beside your bed every night. You can see the environmental factor. Not just using willpower. I'm not going to hold your hand when I say this. If your environment is bad, your habit will not stick. If you don't set up your environment to enhance the habit you are trying to build, you're going to go back to square one. Another thing I would like to share is that habit fails at identity level. Who you perceive yourself to be is going to determine whether you're going to fail or succeed at changing a habit. You saying that, oh my god, I'm not consistent, could become your self-fulfilling story. And at the end of the day, you begin to find out that you can never be consistent. Because you think that's who you are. But the moment you start telling yourself, I am someone that shows up, I am someone that is consistent, define who you are, define who you want to be, your behavior will follow your identity. Rewriting your identity script is very important. Beyond your identity, even though that's the driving force, focus on systems, not goals. What differentiates systems from goals is like, for example, goal is like, I want to stop biting my nails. Systems are like, I'm going to do manicure and pedicure to my nails every single week to ensure that I don't eat my nails. Another thing I'm going to say when it comes to habits is measure your effort, not your outcomes. Because a lot of people, when they start putting in the effort and doing things and they feel like they are not getting the desired results, the desired outcomes that they want, they begin to get worried and then they quit. Focus on the things within your control. For example, I want to become a full-time content creator by the end of this year. I'm going to focus on my effort. What are the actions that I'm doing to make sure that I achieve this goal? I'm more focused on my actions, and those are the things that will keep me going. Those are the things that will sustain me even when I have 0 views, even when I have 1 like, even when I don't get any subscribers. Another thing I'm going to say is that progress comes from showing up consistently. I've come across people who they want to do something, they know they want to do something, but they keep planning and overthinking. Let me tell you something. The best way to make progress is to show up and just do that thing regardless. I know that I want to be a public speaker. Instead of showing up to improve my skills, I'm there watching video. How can I speak well fluently? And I've been watching those videos for this. Now, don't get me wrong, watching videos is not bad. I mean, it's great because it gives you resources, it equips you with knowledge. Great. But the moment you start dwelling on learning how to instead of actually sitting down or standing up to actually practice, there is a problem. You need to show up. That's where progress comes from. People who win are the people that show up regardless. Just show up. You don't need to be perfect. To be honest, at the beginning, you might not be doing well. But as you keep going, you look back and you feel like, oh my God, there's a lot of change. There's a lot of betterment. Habits don't fail because you're weak. They fail because the system is wrong. Fix the system and consistency becomes natural. So let me just do a quick recap of everything I've been trying to say since. So the first thing is start small. The second thing is to build structure instead of relying on motivation. The third thing is changing one thing at a time. The fourth thing I said is to design your environments to make sure that those habits and those changes that you are trying to make becomes much more easier and natural. And the fifth one is always come back quickly. If you've watched this video up until now, first of all, I want to say thank you for sticking with me, and I want you to know that it will get better. When you build good habits, those good habits will eventually build a good and sustainable life for you. So I'm rooting for you. I hope you keep learning. I hope you keep gathering the knowledge that you need to make your life better. And one more thing, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.